part 3 of our 3-part series on how to maximize your Airbnb profits. That's the subject of this video. Welcome everyone, my name is Fernando David, and this is part 3 of our 3-part series on how to maximize your Airbnb revenues. In this video, I'm going to give you 13 options or steps that you can take to increase your revenues and 8 options or steps that you can take to reduce your expenses to maximize your profits on Airbnb. Okay, we're going to begin by discussing how to increase revenues, meaning how to add additional revenue streams to your property or to your listings, right? The first one, it seems like my favorite subject because I've been discussing it multiple times and multiple videos, is make sure that your listing is a pet-friendly listing. Here's what that does. It's going to allow you to have a bigger pool of potential guests. In addition to that, it's going to allow you, or Airbnb is going to favor your listing and it's going to push it. It's going to give you an additional SEO boost within the platform. So I highly encourage you, if you haven't done so already, make it a pet-friendly listing. Try it out. If it doesn't work, if I'm wrong, then get rid of it, but at least try it out. Here's what else you can do with that, is create a pet fee. You can do per pet or per stay or both, but either way, it's going to be an additional revenue stream for you, right? So add a pet fee. Number 2 is going to be add an additional fee for additional guests. Here's what I mean by that. Let's say you have a 3-bedroom house, queen beds in each or king beds in each. That's 6 people that can stay at that property in a bed. What I suggest for you to do is add 2 more, meaning maximum occupancy of that property is 8, right? But the 7th and 8th person is going to incur an additional fee. Why? Because that person, you have to either give them a sofa bed, a rollaway bed, or an air mattress, right? It's going to create a little bit more work for you. So as such, add an extra fee for that. That fee, again, it could be per person, per night, or per stay, however you want to do that. Next is adding what I refer to shopping, right? If a guest or offer that you will go shopping, grocery shopping for that person prior to their arrival, have them give you a list, you have that stuff for them. Here's what that does. Number 1, it creates an extra revenue stream because you can charge for that service. And number 2, it makes the guest experience better, right? I don't think there's anything better than showing up to a property after days of travel and having the stuff you need in the refrigerator. That'll be number 3. Okay, number 4 is offering bike rentals. It's a great additional revenue stream, but if you do this, make sure that you give it an attorney and make sure that you get a good solid waiver form for your guests to sign. The next one is becoming extremely popular, and I highly recommend this for hosts, and that's providing car rental service, right? You want to be competitive. There's 2 apps that I posted, which is Turo, which is the most popular, and then Getting Around or Get Around, right? Those 2 apps, if you have a car that you want to start creating revenue for, go ahead and sign up for that. That has become extremely profitable and popular. Next is cleaning fees, right? I'm not a fan of setting huge or jacking up your cleaning fees a lot, but put them so that you make a little bit of money on your cleaning fees, right? Let's say it costs you $100 to clean the place, make it $125, so you're making at least $25 per cleaning. Along those same lines, as I stated in other videos, we're starting to see guests book for longer stays. In those longer stays, I highly recommend that you push, right? You highly suggest that they hire your cleaning people to do cleanings while they're there. That's additional, what I refer to as additional cleanings. Extremely important. Here's what's good about that. Number one, it keeps your cleaners busy, right? Helps them make extra revenue. It helps you make an additional small revenue. Again, don't jack up these prices. Don't gouge the people, but a small portion of that. But it also adds eyes to the property, right? So let's say your guest is booking for a month or maybe 2 months. You want to go in there, trust me. So your cleaning people, if let's say they hire your cleaning staff to clean it once a week, at least once a week, they're going inside the property to see what's going on and make sure everything's good. Make sure if they say they have 6 people, that there's 6 people in the property, etc. Right? So that's good. Number 7 is airport pickup. This used to be very popular, but now with the popularity of Uber and Lyft is not as popular. But you still can make some additional revenues by offering airport pickup service. Number 8, along these lines, is concierge service, right? What do I mean by that? Here's one thing that I push for, right? Especially if people are coming into town, for us it's Fort Lauderdale, right? It's offer them to book reservations to restaurants, buy movie tickets. If there's an event, buy event tickets. Whatever they need, offer that service to them. Tell them, listen, we will do what, ask them what their needs are and try to monetize that need, okay? So concierge service is extremely popular. And again, along the lines of what I mentioned before, it adds to the Airbnb experience, which in turn will give you better reviews, which with more reviews or better reviews, your listing goes up or gets a boost and you can charge more, right? So this is extremely helpful. Now, the next ones we're going to talk about is what I refer to like affiliate programs, right? Number 9 is Uber, Lyft, Airbnb. They offer affiliate options for you. You sign up with them, you get a code, you provide that code to your guest. If the guest uses that code, then you get a kickback, right? You get some type of reward back. Those are options. But here's some options that are outside of the box, right? Network with the local businesses in your area. For example, restaurants. For me, we're in Fort Lauderdale on the beach with tour guides, with people like boat rentals, jet ski rentals. Network with them. Ask them if they can give you some kind of, or if they can participate in some type of affiliate program where that if you send them a customer, that they'll provide you some kind of kickback or some kind of reward. And even if they don't, if they at least give your guests a discount, again, you're adding to that Airbnb experience. Extremely beneficial. Next, along that Airbnb experience, and this is a takeaway from Airbnb experience itself, is create your own Airbnb experience. Again, network with personal trainers, chefs, masseuse, right? Daycare or babysitting services. Network with those type of people and offer that service to your guests, right? There. Now, I have rollerbed and air mattresses. Again, if they need that, it's an additional service. I actually like to charge for this stuff, or at the very minimum, make sure they sign for that stuff when you give that out. Along those same lines are baby products, right? High chair, pack and play, cribs, those stuff, those things you can provide either free of charge or you can add a small fee to that so you can have an additional revenue stream. The next one, extremely important. This one's and it's important for marketing reasons. Create your own email list. When you get when a guest books your property, right? Ask them to give you an email contact and try to provide these information via email. Here's why that's important. If you get that email information from them and you send them this information via email so that you know that the email is good and it's something that they actually use, you can market to them, right? And by marketing to them, I mean offer them to come back to your property. So for example, with us, every time I get a new listing, I send that new listing to my email guest list and tell them, hey, we just added this new property. You're welcome to come stay at it. And if you do, let me know and I'll give you a discount for your stay in this new property, or they can return back to the one they liked, right? So email list for marketing purposes is extremely important. I see a lot of hosts miss this. Don't do that. Create your own contact email list. With time, this is extremely valuable. The last one on the list is dynamic pricing. Airbnb has their own called smart pricing. I don't recommend you use that one. Airbnb's smart pricing is good, but here's a problem with Airbnb smart pricing. It's heavily tied into the hotel industry. And what Airbnb wants to do is they want to be the lowest price option on the market, which not necessarily to your benefit. It's the benefit to Airbnb because they get more people to use the platform. But in terms of overall profits for you, it's not the best. There's several other options out there like beyond pricing, which is very good. Or you can do this yourself, right? And I highly recommend if you're a new host to do dynamic pricing yourself. Now, this is a subject for another video, but learn your market, right? Learn what similar properties are being listed for, and that way you can understand how to properly price your listing. Extremely important. Trust me when I tell you, if you do that, you're going to make a lot more money, because you should not have one set price throughout the year. If you're doing that, that's a huge mistake. Don't do that. Dynamic pricing. If you have any questions specifically on this one, because I know this really it's its own video, because there's a lot of dynamics behind it. But if you have any questions regarding any of this, or more importantly, if you have something that you're currently doing that works and is bringing in more money, let us know in the comments below. It'll help us all out, okay? Again, any questions, post them below. All right, now let's talk about reducing our expenses, right? First one, again, extremely common, is if a guest damages or stains a sheet, a towel, a pillowcase, breaks a cup, breaks a plate, whatever it is that they do inside the property, try to get reimbursed for that. Extremely important. I'm going to touch on that in a second, but you got to go through the resolution process. If you don't know that process, check out one of my other video that I've discussed the resolution process. But fight to get your money back. Those little things at the end of the year really add up. And touching again on expenses, right? Buy in bulk, especially if you have multiple properties like I do. Find a company like, I'm in South Florida, we use Alliance. I think it's a very good a supply company that you can buy in bulk from. There's others like Cheney Brothers, but the point is buy in bulk. And the reason is extremely important. A, it's going to save you money, and B, it'll save you time, because you're not, if you have stuff stored, when your cleaner says, hey, we don't have any more toilet paper or any more paper towels, you're not running out to the store and getting it, because that stuff gets delivered. You should have it in storage, and they can come and take it and move on, right? So buy in bulk. Number two, I stole this from restaurants, right? Restaurants, bars, etc., etc. Create like a tip jar, and here's why that's important. Number one, some guests, not a lot, but some guests will give you a tip at the end of their stay, especially if they had a very good experience, right? So there's an extra revenue source. In addition, in your tip jar, put a sign. If you break a cup, if you break a plate, if you stain a towel, do us a favor and put some money in the jar so we can replace those items. That it's easier than trying to collect after the fact, right? And believe me, most people are honest. They will put money in, or if they damage the property, especially if they call you. If they call you, what I suggest you do, if they call you and say, hey, I stained it, how do I replace it? Give them use Venmo, Zelle, or some kind of product to get it, or immediately go into your Airbnb platform and request the money right there. Don't wait till later. Request the money to get that item replaced right there. For me, it's easier to use Venmo or Zelle or some type of cash platform, or just have them put the money in the tip jar. Moving on, a smart thermostat. people, you gotta have that. Do not allow your guests to adjust the temperature in your house. We lock our temperature from 70 to 79. They can adjust that, but they can't go lower than 70, and they won't go higher than 79, right? Here's why that's important. You'll get guests that'll come and put that down to like 60 degrees, then leave the windows and doors open. That's going to cause, first of all, you're going to lose money in your energy bill, and also it'll overwork your AC units, and most likely it'll cause them to freeze up, right? So get a smart thermostat that you can lock, that you can adjust, that'll save you greatly on your energy bill. Along those same lines, I'm going to skip forward to go to number 5 because it falls under the same energy bill tip. Is, for example, in Florida, and if you're not from Florida, check other areas. Florida Power and Light allows you to do budget billing. If you have a property that has a high occupancy rate, I strongly suggest that you get on their budget billing. Along those same lines, if it's auto debit, you get a discount, right? All those little things at the end of the year really add up, right? So don't get lazy. Find out, even if it's a few dollars per month. Again, at the end of the year, all of this stuff adds up. So get under budget billing and do auto debit, meaning your payments come out of your check or credit card automatically, so that you can get those discounts. Number 6, let me go back to number 4, sorry. If you have multiple properties, like I do, negotiate with your vendors, especially if you're constantly adding on new properties. Renegotiate your deals with your vendors. It'll, again, in the beginning may not seem like much, but at the end of the year, you will see some great savings if you renegotiate with your vendors, meaning your landscaping people, your pool, pest control. All those, go back to them and say, hey, I started with you with 1 account. Now we have 30 accounts. Let's renegotiate our deal here. And if they don't, you can go with someone else, right? But definitely renegotiate your deals with your vendors. I try to do that every couple of years, but try to renegotiate that. Let's go back down to number 6. If you still have cable or DirecTV, get rid of that crap. No one's really watching that anymore. Make sure you have a smart TV, and that's it, right? Smart TV with a high-speed internet. They have everything on there: Hulu, Netflix, Sling, YouTube, right? No one really watches TV anymore, and I can tell you from experience, when I got rid of all the cables on the cable and satellite TV in my properties, I got zero complaints. In fact, I don't think everybody even noticed that we did, right? So get rid of that. Next, the next 2 deals with the actual property itself. If you own the property and you had the property for several years, especially today where the rates are so low, refinance that property. Get your mortgage down, right, by refinancing. That's going to save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on that property. If you follow the rental arbitrage, go back to your landlord and try to renegotiate your lease, especially if you've been a good tenant. Renegotiate that lease. Lastly is insurance. Now, this can be a little bit of a pain in the butt, but I would try to renegotiate or shop around for insurance. Insurance is extremely expensive, especially for my properties that are on the east side of the city, near the water. Insurance is expensive. If you can knock down $500-600 a year, that's a lot especially when you own 30 plus properties like I do. You want to negotiate that, right? If you have any questions relating to any of this, or if you have other tips that you can provide or help us learn from, please list them below in the comments. Let us know. If you found this information useful, please subscribe, like, share, and follow us on Instagram.